Three knocks from nobody. I never thought about danger in hotels. Until Pennsylvania taught me what silence really sounds like. I've slept in more hotel rooms than I can count. Roadside motels with flickering signs. Airport hotels that smell like recycled air and broken dreams. Budget chains where the carpet is always slightly damp and you learn not to ask why. I never thought twice about any of it. Check in, lock the door, sleep, leave. Simple, safe. I was wrong about the safe part. The hotel in Pennsylvania looked completely normal. That's what makes it worse. There was nothing about it that should have made my skin crawl. Just a small lobby with old red carpet and a smell I couldn't quite name, something between must and memory. The woman at the front desk handed me my key card without making eye contact. Third floor, room at the end of the hall. The hallway was very quiet. Not peaceful quiet, not late night quiet, the specific, pressurized quiet of a place holding its breath. My room was ordinary. Small bed, desk, bathroom with a light that buzzed faintly when you turned it on. I threw my bag down, showered, watched TV until the words stopped making sense, and finally fell asleep with the lamp still on. I woke to a sound I couldn't immediately name. A soft, dry sliding, like paper on carpet. Close, very close. I told myself it was the ice machine, or pipes, or the particular sounds old buildings make when no one is watching. I was half asleep, comfortable, unwilling to surface. I closed my eyes again. Then the sound came again, slower now, and directly beneath the door. I turned on the lamp. Something white was poking out from the gap under the door. Small, folded, left there while I slept by someone I hadn't heard arrive and hadn't heard leave. I crossed the room, picked it up, unfolded it. The handwriting was wrong immediately, jagged and uneven in a way that didn't suggest carelessness but something more unsettling. A hand that wasn't entirely steady. A mind that wasn't entirely calm. The message was only a few words. Someone inside this hotel is watching you. I stood in the center of the room and did not move for a long time. I checked the peephole. Empty hallway. I pressed my ear to the door. Nothing, not a footstep, not a breath, not the sound of someone retreating. Whoever had slid that note had done so in complete silence and vanished just as quietly. I latched the chain lock, sat with my back against the headboard, kept the lamp on, kept my eyes on the door. 20 minutes passed. The hotel was absolutely silent. Then the sliding sound came again. I watched the bottom of the door. Another folded paper appeared, moving slowly, almost gently, pushed through by what looked like a single extended finger. Deliberate, patient, I made myself get up, made myself pick it up. The second note had shakier handwriting than the first, as if the act of writing it had cost something, as if the person's composure was eroding. I was inside your room earlier today, before you arrived. I like watching people sleep in this hotel. The fear that moved through my chest then wasn't sharp, it was heavy. Spreading, the kind that settles into you rather than startling you, because it's confirming something your body already suspected. I checked the room again. Under the bed, nothing. Closet, hangers swaying slightly from the movement of the door, nothing behind them. Shower curtain, I pulled it back hard and fast with my heart slamming against my ribs. Empty. I sat back down, made a deal with myself, one more note and I leave. No hesitation. I walk straight to the front desk and I don't look back. I kept my eyes on the door and breathed as slowly as I could manage. The silence stretched. 5 minutes. Dot. 5 minutes. 10. 20. My eyelids grew heavy. The lamp hummed. The building settled. I thought, with immense and fragile relief, it's over. It was a prank. Some bored, cruel person in a nearby room. It's finished. And then the third note came. Slower than either of the others. The sound of it sliding across the floor was unhurried, almost ceremonial, as if whoever pushed it through wanted me to have time to prepare. Wanted me fully awake for what I was about to read. I picked it up. I read it. I'm already in the room with you again. The words didn't fully process at first. I read them twice, 3 times. Then I turned in a slow circle, and my eyes moved across every surface of the room I had already checked twice. And even though I knew it was empty, I felt a terrible compulsion to check again. Behind the curtains, under the desk, every shadow, every corner, every space large enough to hide a body. Nothing, no one, But the window latch, I would later discover, was broken, snapped recently and cleanly, in a way that let the window be opened and closed from outside without making a sound. He had been coming in and going out all night. While I slept, while I searched, while I sat on the bed with my back to the wall convincing myself I was safe. I grabbed my bag, peephole, clear, unlatched the chain, opened the door, ran. At the far end of the hallway, just before the corridor bent out of sight, I caught it from the edge of my vision, a shape pulling back around the corner. The clean, deliberate movement of someone stepping out of view. Someone who had been watching me run. I didn't stop. Downstairs, the night clerk listened to my story with growing confusion. 3 other guests on the floor. None reported moving around. He offered me a new room or an early checkout. I chose the door. He walked me back up to collect my things. When we entered the room, everything looked exactly as I'd left it. Ordinary, undisturbed, except the window lock, broken, recently, in a way that made him go pale and say very quietly that someone might have gotten it from outside. I was already reaching for my bag. I drove 20 minutes to a different hotel and lay in the dark staring at the ceiling until morning. When I called back the next day, the hotel told me the cameras had caught nothing. No activity near my room. No evidence of anyone unusual. I didn't believe them then. I don't believe them now. What I believe is this: someone had a way into that room before I arrived and used it freely throughout the night. The broken latch tells me so. The notes, 3 of them, escalating, intimate, patient, tell me so. And the third note, the one that said I'm already in the room with you again, the one I read while standing in an empty room I had searched twice. That one I still haven't fully explained. Maybe I missed somewhere, or maybe he was better at hiding than I was at looking. I have never gone back to find out.